Okay, what does he mean, Sanjay Jha? What does he possibly mean? मैं सबसे पहले तो समझना चाहती हूँ, मैंने बहुत कोशिश की समझने के लिए. What did he mean? I don't, before I get into Hindu-phobic, not Hindu-phobic, anti-Hindu, anti-women, I couldn't understand this comment. I don't know if others could. Did you
No, no, but
understand it?
no, no, Barkha, I'll tell you what he said, because I think it is quite explicit and clear as daylight. He's talking about Shakti as in power, and power as in, frankly, as we all know, the famous quote, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. This is where he's actually talked about the abuse of Shakti as in power by the Modi government, which is why he talked about, and I think you should also put out his tweet that he's just kind of posted a little while ago.
Yeah.
When,
Can we show that tweet? Yeah,
yeah,
there's a long tweet and there's the tweet. Portions of it on
absolutely.
your screen.
And
Yeah.
he's very clear. He says, there goes Narendra Modi, the man who's probably, in my opinion, got the lowest denominator in terms of trying to actually have a civilized public conversation, because he's obviously going to try and turn anything and use the big media to try and make a propaganda out of it. Rahul Gandhi is talking about a dusht Shakti, what he calls about absolute power corrupts absolutely. This has got nothing to do with the religion or anything at all. I think this has got to do with the fact that there is a powerful man, a very formidable man with political power, who's using the agencies to basically destroy India's democracy. A simple example in front of us, right? Look at what Narendra Modi's government has done. Forget the CBI, etc. You have today Barkha in the electoral bonds issue. The enforcement directorate has become an extortionist department. It's an ED. It has threatened companies, raised money in a mafia or a supari politics operation. And that, I think, is essentially what Rahul Gandhi is hit at. He's also mentioned, by the way, the election commission. And we all know, Barkha, how the election commission is being manipulated in terms of his constitution. And the fact that the election commission today, even if you look at the poll schedule, plays to the BJP's hands. But my second point, very quickly before we go on, it is laughable that Narendra Modi should even talk about protecting women. I mean, this government is a shame, an embarrassment, a monumental symbol of misogyny in terms of any political party in our history. Manipur, a gang raped woman. Narendra Modi's party pretends as if it didn't know it for 2 months when it has a government in Manipur. And by the way, Mr. Modi hasn't even bothered to go to Manipur. Women wrestlers, champions who represented India, Barkha. Narendra Modi takes photos with them, but doesn't have the decency to even reach out to them, because the case is against Brijbhushan Singh, who is a very important ally for the BJP, as in an internal ally, of course, of the party, who will
Okay,
be
you've gone everywhere with a kind of pre-rehearsed trope, an autopilot
I
trope.
delivered my points.
I only want to know, did you understand him? I'm going to ask you the same thing
Of course
again.
I
Did
did.
you are saying that the reference by Rahul Gandhi to Shakti Sanjay Jha was about the abuse of power? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Rahul Gandhi is basically talked about a man who's the prime minister of this country, who's using every lever of governance to basically abuse power. That's what he's talked about. He's talked about that actually even in the EVM, where all the opposition parties have said, let's have a reconciliation with the EVM and the VVPAT, and the election commission is saying no, because we all know that the election commission today is in the hands of the executive. It is no longer an impartial, dispassionate organization. And I want to make one point, Barkha, before we move on. Bilkis Banu, I think Narendra Modi and his government should hang their head in shame, because in 2002 Bilkis Banu was raped when Mr. Narendra Modi was the chief minister, and when he's prime minister, Bilkis Banu's rapists are released when India celebrates its 75th year of independence. I think it's a moment of shame for our country.
Okay. I want to bring in Abhijit Iyer and then everybody else, but I also want to play out what the Prime Minister said. The Prime Minister has actually waded into this entire argument. He has responded to what Rahul Gandhi said, and he's responded quite dramatically, even saying, "Main jaan ki bazi laga dunga if necessary." Take a look.
जहां से इंडी अलायंस ने अपनी घोषणा पत्र जाहिर किया और उन्होंने कहा है कि उनकी लड़ाई शक्ति के खिलाफ है, मेरे लिए हर मां शक्ति का रूप है। हर बेटी शक्ति का रूप है और मेरी इन माताओं बहनों की तरफ से माताओं बहनों आपको मैं शक्ति के रूप में पूजा करता हूं। मैं भारत मां का पुजारी हूं। मैं आप शक्ति स्वरूपा सब माता बहन बेटियों का भी पुजारी हूं। और जिन्होंने कल शिवाजी पार्क में इंडिया अलायंस ने अपना घोषणा पत्र शक्ति को खत्म करने के लिए किया है, मैं इस चुनौती को स्वीकार करता हूं और मैं इन शक्ति स्वरूपा माताओं बहनों की रक्षा के लिए जान की बाजी लगा दूंगा।
Now, interestingly, the Prime Minister was speaking at an all-women political rally. It's almost as if, God-sent opportunity that Rahul Gandhi handed over to him on a platter. Before I come to Ashwini Shahi, Abhijit, do you think Rahul Gandhi was being Hindu-phobic, or do you believe he was just, in a way, choosing his words poorly, wanting to make the point that Sanjay Jha says was about the abuse of power? That was the allegation.
Thanks, Barkha. So, the thing is, he has such a string of choosing words poorly and neither apologizing for them nor taking any feedback or correction. I mean, he should be a mascot for a teleprompter company, because I don't think anybody has required a teleprompter more than Rahul Gandhi has. And I don't know why he's so upset with teleprompters generally. Now, this is one more case of Rahul Gandhi again shooting his mouth off. I want to use the words very specifically. Hindu dharam mein. He didn't say Hindi bhasha mein, he said Hindu dharam, in the Hindu religion. There is a word called Shakti. Now, what is the first connotation of Shakti that comes about? It is obviously Durga. I mean, I'm half Bengali, so for me, Shakti is automatically Durga. I don't know about the rest of the people here. I guess even in Bihar, it should be Durga and things like that. It is the first and most basic connotation that you have. Number one. Number two, if you take this with a whole string of Hindu phobia that both Rahul and the India Alliance have encouraged, I believe it is more intentional than it is a shooting off of the mouth. Let me give you an example. This is, he met Pastor George Ponnaya, who says lots of nasty things about Hinduism generally. And the exact words captured on the camera were, our God is a real God. Unlike, all the Shakti and all who are not real. He didn't even protest. He just kept quiet and allowed this monologue to continue. This comes on the back of that. Plus, he has refused to condemn Udayanidhi, who wanted to eradicate. Sanatana Dharamaita Urchikattano has a very genocidal extermination meaning to it, connotation to it in Tamil. Then there was A. Raja's comments, what? Rama Chithu. No protest, no nothing. This has now become a pattern. So I don't think it is shooting his mouth off anymore. I think this is very much a case of some kind of an insidious.
But why would it be intentional? Because it tends to backfire politically, right? Why would it be intentional?
I don't think anybody tells him that. I think you have to read Sanjay Jha's resignation letter. He made that exact same point much more eloquently than I ever could, that Rahul just doesn't listen to people. I think we've heard this. All of us have friends in the Congress. How many of them have told us that we keep telling Rahul this and he doesn't listen? Even with Milind Deora, this was the same thing that happened. A dear friend of his, Jyotiraditya, a dear friend of his, they tried talking to him. He doesn't listen. He's always Frank Sinatra. I did it my way. Well, best of luck to him.
Okay. I think, Sanjay, might you agree with Abhijit on this one limited point that Rahul doesn't listen and nobody tells him the truth?
No, listen, one thing which I want to credit Rahul Gandhi with, no matter, everybody has faults. And I think Rahul Gandhi's faults are obviously magnified very generously by the big media. But the truth is that, what eventually is the intent. Now, if the BJP chooses to, they can do what they like. I mean, that's what we all do in politics, right? I mean, even we pick up when the BJP says X, we find a flaw, we obviously will magnify it. That's what politics is about. The BJP is doing its bit. I'm just commenting on the substance of his argument. He is, by the way, I mean, he's himself a Hindu. And the truth remains that nobody in their right senses, just to borrow from Abhijit Mitra himself, 80% of the country is Hindus, right? As you rightly asked, which political party can campaign only on the issue of minority votes? So that's a ridiculous charge. Rahul Gandhi was very clear. He's a big believer. If you remember the article he wrote on Hinduism in the Indian Express, he mentioned it's different from Hindutva. He respects the religion. He doesn't need to get a certificate from that from anybody. He's talking about the abuse of power. Go back, Barkha, to what he said in his first actually good speech that he made many, many years ago, where he said power is poison. So he looks at power as something.
I was that a Freudian slip? Are you saying his last good speech was many years ago?
No. I meant
that I'm taking your trip. I'm taking your trip. I don't mean to put you on the spot. Okay.
No, what I mean is amongst
let's go to the others. Let's go to the others, guys. Let's go to the others. Yeah, sure. You've been smiling throughout this conversation. We have to come to the issue of the namaz and what happened in Gujarat, and we will. But you're very amused. Why are you so amused?
But sorry, what did you ask me?
Why are you so amused?
Oh, I'm so amused because there are a couple of points I want to make about Rahul's speech. See, when you are speaking in the public, you meander. And many of the things which you don't mean are interpreted with such, kind of analysis. It is like a cricket commentary that a batsman is playing, but the commentator knows more than the cricketer himself as to what shot he was trying to execute and, how he's trying to play the ball, etc., etc. Now, BJP is free to use it politically. After all, politics is it's like love and war, and this election is war. So if the BJP is using it, just might as well. But actually, Shakti means in Hindu philosophy power, right? Shakti ke swaroop hain, bahut sare swaroop hai, Abhijit, like my nephew, he said it. And there are Shakti peeths, of course, where we do a lot of puja. Come on, Rahul just said Shakti, which embolizes power. And it's the evil power which emanates from various, from whether it's EVM, whether it's all. Now, it's his imagination. And he has a right to say as much as a right of Mr. Modi to contradict and use it for the elections. But the most important thing is mens rea. In crime, we talk about mens rea, the real intent. I mean, come on. I mean, how can this be an intent? A man like Rahul is not against women. A man like Rahul is hardly against any religion. He has made no claim that he is a great Hindu, Shakti knowledge possessor and things like that. And that's why I'm smiling, making something out of really nothing. That's why I'm smiling.
Okay, let me actually take this to Zafar Sareshwala. I think the point Mr. Azad is making is it's politics. Politics is, like love, everything is fair in love and war. And the BJP, you give somebody an opportunity. It's like you bowl a bad ball, us pe chakka laga to laga. That's the point Yasho's making, and that's what Rahul has done. But this polarization is going to increase, and we'll momentarily switch to what happened in Gujarat as well. Zafar Sareshwala, what do you make of it? This kind of Hindu-Muslim, issues that are shadowing this campaign, and probably more so, will more so as we go closer to the date. Your take on Rahul's comments?
See, every time I'm seeing that Rahul Gandhi and the India Alliance people give God-sent opportunity to Mr. Modi. Barkha, if somebody gives a loose ball or a very loose ball to a batsman to the level of Narendra Modi, full toss, he is going to lob it outside the pavilion. And they're not learning. Series, you start from 2014. When that Chai Wala Jai, Mr. Modi used it to the hilt. After that, Chaukidar Chor. Then, Mr. Lalu about family, Parivar, Hamara Parivar. And now this. I mean, I was amused that Shakti, what has Shakti to do with Hinduism? Shakti is a word, uska matlab ye hota hai strength ya taakat. I was with a famous writer who had written a film called Shakti. He said, मेरे को अब तक समझ में नहीं आया, उसमें दिलीप कुमार थे, उसमें अमिताभ बच्चन थे, शक्ति फिल्म थी, हमने तो कभी जब लिखी थी तो कभी ख्वाबो ख्याल में नहीं था कि इसका हिंदू मजहब से कोई ताल्लुक है. तो I think whatever, every single day, but it is important because see, Barkha, you see Mr. Modi's every word is chosen. He knows exactly which word of his is going to resonate with the people. I mean, if after 10, 15 years, if Mr. Gandhi and the people in the India alliance, they don't know what word is going to resonate with the people, I think it is absolutely disastrous. And they give every single day a God-sent opportunity to Mr. Modi. I look at it this way.
Okay, a God-sent opportunity to Mr. Modi. अश्विनी जी, अगर आप कुछ बोलना चाहें, फिर मैं दीपक के पास आती हूँ. इस पे अगर आप कुछ बोलना चाहें.
अभी तो मैंने बोला ही नहीं, कहा मैंने तो आपका जो है अभी आपका आदेश हुआ है, अब बोल रहा हूँ.
जी.
राहुल गांधी, देखिए राहुल गांधी जी ने जो बोला है, देखिए संजय जी ने बचाव किया, बड़ा अच्छा बचाव किया और यही कर रहे हैं लोग. राहुल गांधी जी कुछ यात्रा निकाल रहे थे तो लोग समझ रहे थे कि कुछ गंभीर राजनेता हो जाएंगे. बहुत लोगों ने बनाना भी चाहा उनको, संजय जी जैसे उनके सलाहकार थे तो उन्होंने उन लोगों ने बनाना चाहा, लेकिन राहुल गांधी जी के अंदर वही रहेगा. अब बार बार वो नाम लेना भी उचित नहीं है, राष्ट्रीय चैनल आपका है. लेकिन उन्होंने जो कहा, देखिए उनको कहना चाहिए था कि मैं किसी ईडी से लड़ रहा हूं, सीबीआई से लड़ रहा हूं, तो उसमें हिंदू लाने की क्या जरूरत थी. राहुल गांधी जी राजस्थान में जाते हैं, बेरोजगारी के खिलाफ जंग की बात होती है, एक रैली होती है, वहां जाकर वो हिंदू और हिंदुत्व की बात करते हैं. यहां अगर ईडी सीबीआई की बात करनी थी तो उनको शक्ति और हिंदू धर्म में कहा जाता है, ऐसे भी बोल देते कि इन शक्तियों से लड़ता हूं. शक्ति का मतलब हिंदू धर्म में, जफर जी जो कह रहे थे आप नहीं जानते थे, लेकिन आज जान लीजिए कि शक्ति हम लोग देवी को कहते हैं. देवी नारी के रूप में होती है. जो अक्सर कहा जाता है कि यत्र नारी पूजयते रमन्ते तत्र देवता, ये हिंदुस्तान की धरती जो है शक्ति की उपासना, दुर्गा आदि शक्ति, अभी नवरात्र आने वाला है, हम दुर्गा जी को शक्ति के रूप में पूजते हैं. और उस शक्ति, दुर्गा जी की शक्ति से कौन लड़ता है? असुर. यानी कि ये जो इंडिया अलायंस है, ये असुरों का एक अलायंस है. राहुल गांधी जी यही कहना चाह रहे थे कि हम शक्ति से लड़ रहे हैं. तो लड़िए आप, आपका शक्ति से लड़ना और विनाश का होना ये इतिहास में गवाह है, हमारे ग्रंथों में है, हमारे पुराणों में है. तो शक्ति से आप लड़ रहे हैं तो आपका विनाश निश्चित है. राजनीतिक विनाश हम कहेंगे, हम बाकी की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. तो आपने अगर जिस बारे में कहा, आज स्थितियां देखिए, कांग्रेस पार्टी की कमी है. कांग्रेस पार्टी बोको हरम से तुलना करती है हिंदू और हिंदुत्व की, ये कांग्रेस के लोगों ने कहा. आज संजय जी यहां पर बैठकर बीच बचाव कर रहे हैं, मगर इस शक्ति की जो बात राहुल गांधी जी ने की है, इसमें स्पष्ट रूप से ये है. आप कह रहे थे ना कि संजय जी, अभी मैं सुन नहीं पाया था, लेकिन थोड़ा सा जो सुना है आपके यहां से लिख के चल रहा है कि वो हिंदू को लाइक करते हैं और हिंदू में आस्था रखते हैं. नकली हिंदू हैं. झा साहब, आप जनेऊ पहनते हैं, मैं भी जनेऊ पहने हूं, कहिए निकालूं. देखिए गोवर्धन जी पहने होंगे,
अरे
लेकिन जनेऊ निकाल के दिखाता हूं. हम लोग हिंदू हैं और जो हम लोगों के अंदर सुबह से शाम तक हिंदू आस्था है.
जो जनेऊ नहीं पहनते वो भी हिंदू,
मैं बता रहा हूं. मैं क्या कहना चाहता हूं, बरखा जी, बस 30 सेकंड दीजिए. सुबह से शाम तक अगर हम हिंदू और हिंदुत्व की बात करते हैं, क्योंकि हम सुबह जब उठते हैं तो धरती को कराग्रे बसते लक्ष्मी कहते हैं और धरती का चरण स्पर्श करते हैं. और वो क्या कहते हैं, जब वो यात्रा निकालते हैं तो वो एक पादरी के पास जाते हैं, जो फादर है, जिससे बचने की बात हम लोग करते हैं. फादर कहते हैं जूता नहीं पहनते हैं जो है, क्योंकि नीचे बड़े कीटाणु हैं. हम उस धरती को सर पे लगाते हैं, हम उस देश के निवासी हैं और धरती पर रहने वाले उनकी बात कर रहे हैं. राहुल गांधी जी, एक लाइन, अंतिम लाइन कह के खत्म करता हूं. राहुल गांधी जी जब पुष्कर मंदिर में जाते हैं तो दत्तात्रेय कौल गोत्र के रहते हैं ब्राह्मण वो, और जब आते हैं महाकाल मंदिर में तो कश्यप गोत्र के हो जाते हैं. जिसका गोत्र बदलता है, जो फिरोज का परिवार का व्यक्ति हो, वो हिंदू नहीं हो सकता है. उसकी सोच
Okay.
हिंदू नहीं हो सकती है।
Okay.
वो हिंदू
Okay.
के
Okay.
बारे में हमेशा गलत ही बोलेगा।
Okay, Abhijit is chuckling. Sanjay is wanting to come in, but Deepal has been waiting very patiently. Although Deepal, when we spoke in the morning, we were going to talk about what happened in Gujarat University, but the Shakti story just overtook the headlines. The Prime Minister has directly taken on Rahul. So if you have a perspective on that, and we'll come to the Gujarat, what happened in Gujarat in a couple of minutes. Deepal. You followed Mr. Modi as Gujarat Chief Minister for very long. It's quite interesting how he's gone from somebody who used to speak off the cuff to being somebody, किसी ने कहा कि उनका हर word, I think Zafar Sareshwala said, that every word he speaks is chosen, is planned. And at the opposite end, you have Rahul Gandhi, whom Abhijit says rather wickedly would make a great mascot for a teleprompter company. Deepal.
What you said and what all other panelists have opined, I think I would agree with all of them. Like, politics is all about perception and the usage of right words. Though I come from Gujarat, I hail from Gujarat, और हमारे घर में अश्विनी जी शक्ति की आराधना 75 साल से होती है, और हम भी नवरात्रि में फास्ट रखते हैं, हम भी टिपिकल गुजराती है, पर हम उन्हें माँ अम्बा, माँ चामुंडा, माँ के नाम से बुलाते हैं, हम उन्हें शक्ति करके हम नहीं रिफर करते हैं. So yes, Shakti was just a word that was used, but in politics, you know, in India, in New India, every word has a resonance, and it has a political and religious resonance.
So do you think, आपको लगता है Deepal, do you think Rahul ने गलती की?
Definitely गलती की, because politics in India is all about the right words, the right images, whether it's intentional or unintentional. In a democracy, I think a politician has to be smart enough, has to be aware enough of what the electorate or the voters need to listen or want to listen. So in this case, Mr. Modi, whether he's, he has criticized Rahul, I think it's good politics, and we are in a game not about just intentional or unintentional usage of words. It's about perception, and Mr. Modi is a very smart and intelligent politician. So I absolutely agree that words should be used in the right perspective, and right words